Hey everybody, what's going on? It is Warpath 2 or Adam, bringing you some WWE 13 gameplay. I've been really excited about this game for past, I don't know, month or two. It's looked really incredible, and I thought since I got it, I picked it up on release day, I would go ahead and do a quick video review kind of over the things I thought were good, some things I thought were bad. It's kind of an overall impression of at least the universe/creation mode, in my opinion. So before we get started here, though, I do want to let you guys know, Sunday, November 4th, I'm going to be on Mr. Tony Stark 717 Sunday Sitdown. I've been on it before, and I know some of you guys probably subbed from that, but I'm going to be on again. It's going to be really awesome. We got a lot of good people. We've got Geraldist, Scanner Barkley, who's always in the comments and just making the most hilarious things. It's going to be really good. I hope you guys come out and watch it, and I hope you have a good time. Well, let's jump into the review here, guys. I want to talk first about create a superstar. I know this is my favorite feature. It's what keeps me coming back year after year, to be the ability to create the superstar, I guess, of my childhood dreams and goals, who I guess I wanted to be as a wrestler. I want to talk more about the features of it. Create a superstar is great. Everybody... It's single-handedly the best create mode of any game I've ever played. There's never been a fighting game or any other kind of game that gives you the real flexibility that WWE has in all their games. So there's a couple things they added. Mainly they added, I believe it was more layers. They added more layers to the characters so you could get a little bit crazier with it. But the one thing I've really noticed is they added kick pads. And you're going to see a video here on the screen, or it's going to take over the match, where you'll see kind of me customizing a boot with kick pads. It's a cool concept. I like it. I do, but they seem less like the kick pads that wrestlers wear, and more like just a little thing they put around the boots. The kick pads are used just for that, for their pads for your shins when you kick, so you don't get bruised up and stuff. But they look almost too bulky on the character model. I'm not a big fan of that, and they only have like 4 or 5 different shapes you could choose from. And they emulated other ones, but it didn't look nearly as good. So you'd be able to tell pretty easily if somebody was using the kick pad that resembled Kofi Kingston or the boots that resembled Kofi Kingston's. I'm sure part of this is how the graphics and how the game is programmed. It's based to be built on top of another layer. I just think it could have been much more seamless. I don't think it's that great. That being said, even though there's really nothing new, there's really nothing taken away either. So I feel like I should be a little bit upset about it, or I should feel like we got gypped in some way, but truthfully we didn't. I mean, they kept all the things we still love, everything we still want to do is still there. Nothing really has been removed that I can find, but I didn't comb through everything. But I just feel like they could add more. One thing I have noticed with this, though, is it looks like we have the same exact WWE designs from last year. I didn't scroll through all of them, but there's still like the core, which hasn't been around for a full year since the previous game came out. It was gone before even then. So I don't know why they have those graphics still. I guess some people have an emotional attachment to the core. I'm not a big fan, though, except for Wade Barrett. Wade Barrett's awesome. Created Arenas back as well. Of course, they weren't going to get rid of this. This was a big feature they brought out last year. Really cool, really good concept. Some of the better things I like, it's definitely more options for things. The graphics look better, but there's more options on what you can customize. It seems like you really can just make a custom arena. There's limitations, like the ropes, you can all make certain colors. You can't change each individual rope, because I thought it'd be cool to do like the breast cancer awareness raw ring. That's really cool, but no, you can't do it. You're stuck without that. But that being said, there's also been some other improvements there, like you have more options on what you can customize. Now, instead of just the ring and the table, you can customize the actual barrier. You could make it metal bars, which is pretty cool. You can customize the stage, the lighting on the stage, the Titantrons on the stage, the way the rigs are set up, which is crazy in depth. And also even the ramp. You can do the ramp, the side skirts around the stage. It's a really cool concept. I like where they've gone with it. I don't know how well it's really going to change it. I don't know what they could really do from here other than just giving you full customization to everything, including placing your own lights and stuff. But I don't know. It's cool. I'm not a big user of it, but I know a lot of you guys are, so it's worth it. It's definitely something that was good to have implemented and something that's good to have improved in the game. Finally, from the create menu, because I'm not going to jump into the create a finisher because literally nothing has changed there. The create a story, I've heard a lot has changed, but I feel like because of how big that is and how in-depth you can go with that, it warrants its own kind of commentary on that. So I'm going to leave that one alone for right now, and we're going to go to create an entrance. Literally, create an entrance is still just as awesome as it was. The animations are better every time. If you've noticed some of the previews and if you check the rosters as they were updating on WWE 13, The entrance animations, they've done a lot to improve on. Kofi Kingston no longer looks like he's running around like a Eugene, for lack of a better comparison there. And CM Punk, actually, his entrance, they did a fantastic job on. So the animations are still solid on the entrance. The options are pretty much the same. The stage pyro is good, all that stuff. And the lighting effects are pretty much the same as well. The only thing I really don't like about this is the notion of championship entrances. I feel like it's a cop-out for not putting in the work to allow titles to be rendered properly on custom entrances or character entrances. So I'm going to take you back to an example here. Kofi Kingston's entrance, when he doesn't have a championship, is awesome. It looks a lot better. The animations are smoother. He actually does his jump. But when you have him with a championship, he again starts bumbling around like Eugene. And I don't understand what the rationale behind that is. I think that's a really lazy way to do it. I spend literally 20 or 30 minutes creating my entrance every year. I love it. It's one of my favorite things. I like to go back and edit it later on when some of the animations get tired and I want to have something newer. What's the point if I'm going and creating this crazy elaborate entrance where I'm customizing lighting and pyro, the name card, all that stuff, if when I win a belt, I can't have that entrance? I hate seeing that I have to choose someone else's entrance, a pre-made entrance for championships. So after I win the WWE title or the World Championship a couple times, I don't win them anymore. I don't want to pursue them. I just kind of want to be like where John Cena's been for the past year, not ever really getting that chance. I really hope this is something they can change. I hate the way it's implemented. I can't say it enough. I want them to remove that. Give us back the option to have belts during our custom entrances because it's really not that hard. I want to talk about Universe Mode 3.0. This is simply the best universe mode I've ever seen. So much more control is given over this. I really like how much more diverse everything is. The game is pretty solid with universe mode, and it's really well done this year. You have a lot more as far as editing you can do. Some of you guys may know this, but when it came to the schedule last year, you could edit a show. You couldn't really create a show. You could edit one, but now you can put a show as any day of the week. It can be Saturday, any day. It doesn't matter except Sunday. Sunday has to be a pay-per-view. So it's really awesome. You can see on the screen here, I've gone through some of the things to do that. As far as where I want the show, I tried to recreate Heat, but they didn't have the right video card for it, which was weird. They had all the other graphics, but whatever. The custom pay-per-views is a really cool idea too, so you have back that idea for the new arena, for the old arenas and things like that. The championships, the way those are handled, is so much better in my opinion. You now have the option to edit where someone is ranked in the championships. I've seen this only in the beginning. I haven't been able to get back there and find it again, or it hasn't really let me. Maybe it's just an issue with the game that I had. So we'll see, but I do like that fact that you can change people where they're edited. I immediately moved Dolph Ziggler up on the list for the WWE Championship and moved John Cena way down because I'd rather in real life see that happen. So in the game, it's played out well. I've really enjoyed that. You also have the option that I found yesterday while playing the game to stop going after a championship. So if you've hit the WWE Championship, and this is something I ran into with my created character last year, he would still get put as a contender for the Intercontinental Championship or the United States Championship. I hated that because I didn't want to contend for those titles. I had this title. I was good. It was better for me that way. So now you have the option to stop chasing that championship. If you feel like you've reached above that card level, you can turn it off so you don't go after it anymore. And you can actually do this for any superstar. So if you feel like in your universe mode Kofi Kingston's elevated to a main event status, you can set it that way. It's just overall a much better program. It's a much better implementation of universe mode. I really like it. I think it's going to add so much more replayability than last year. Some of the new animations are better. I hope this is kind of what they continue to build on. It doesn't quite replace having storylines for created characters, like they used to back in the SmackDown versus Raw days, where you can just go for time and time again with your created character, but it's still really good. I enjoy it quite a bit. The matches are just as good. They have a couple other options there too that I'm going to let you guys find on your own, or I may just devote a bigger commentary to it. But it's awesome. I like it at all. So I want to talk about one other feature that's not in the game that I think definitely should be in the game. So this is roster updates. Now, when I talk about roster updates, I'm not talking about necessarily adding superstars every month when a new superstar debuts, because I don't really think that's warranted. But I am talking about changing entrance animations, or changing songs, or changing items they hold, or things like that. I know that sounds like a lot of work, and it sounds like a lot to have done. They don't have to be instantaneous, but maybe once a month just put out a new list of updates. And I understand if somebody gets a complete character change and they have to change everything about them, that's fine with me too. And people are going to say, well, how do you fund all this development? Well, that's what the access is for. The $20 pass this year, which has gone up so much, which again is kind of ridiculous, but whatever. If you're going to pay that amount of money, you should definitely have roster updates. Last year, you played with Cody Rhodes in the mask when 2 months after the game came out, he was done. He had a different character, different way to come in the ring. His trunks were different. It's not hard. It's not hard at all. And it's truthfully not hard for me to go out, get the music file I want, change the threads the way I want. But it is difficult because I can't change the animation. I can't change the way the character is. I can't do any of that. So I think that's something they definitely need to do. They're developing these things all year round anyways. So what's the point of just holding them off until the next game when you can put them in now and maybe even push out your development cycle a little bit? So in closing, it's a good game. I really like it. I like the way they've implemented things. I still think it's lacking in a couple of areas. The custom entrances with the championship entrances being a requirement, I really don't like that. I think that needs to be fixed. That needs to be addressed because it's a horrible idea and it really takes the power away, which is kind of what they've been against for a long time. And I also think that just overall Universe Mode is going to bring a lot more playability to it. It's a good game. Out of the score I would give it, last year I'd say I'd give WWE 12 about a 7. This year I'd say it's about an 8. It's not quite perfect, but it's getting better. It's getting much better. So that's going to wrap it up, guys. I hope you enjoyed the review. I hope you enjoyed the gameplay. And if you did, subscribe, like, comment, do whatever you want to do. Now, if you don't like anything I've said or you disagree with anything I've said, go ahead and leave a comment. I really am curious about your feedback. I want to engage in a dialogue about it, because I know sometimes my opinions can be a little bit strong, but I want to see how you guys feel about them. So that's going to be it, guys. Thanks again for joining me today. Remember to follow me on Twitter at Adam7986. I'm on there all the time. And take it easy, guys.